Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back again with another video. Today, unfortunately, news has come out that further scans has been done on Martin Odegaard, our captain, who will be available most likely until November for the next international break. With that being said, Arsenal play away to Atlanta tomorrow in Italy in the hopes of getting a win or a draw at the least away from home on the road in the opening game of the Champions League 24-25 season. We are going to go through some injury updates with Calafiori, Bukayo Saka, and Martin Odegaard. Big up Omar. Tottenham got battered on the weekend. Tottenham won today 2-1. And big up BX. Thanks for tuning in. I just decided to go live quickly, sort of to do an Arsenal wrap up update. There were some injury news provided this morning that I want to go through and also talk about briefly about the Atlanta game and some rotation I want to see for that game. In particular, see Raheem Sterling start and see the likes of some players get a rest. For the Champions League game, I know it's not possible to rotate the entire squad, but some of the key players, in my opinion, need a rest. We are going to go through the injuries first. So if you guys saw, Simon Collins reported earlier this morning around UK time afternoon that Calafiori is now back in training with Arsenal, and he looked sharp in training. Disclaimer, I know Arsenal only show you behind the scenes training videos of things they want you to see and things that look promising. And Calafiori back in training is good news to us. I'm quite happy to see him back in training just because with Timber and Calafiori gives us options on that left-hand side for the left back position. And with the Champions League coming up, maybe and City on the weekend, we have some tough fixtures this month, thick and fast, home and away from home, which we have to account for. Rest in peace, Claude. Yes, rest in peace to Claude. Big up Sideline Football Show. Good win for you guys yesterday with AC Milan. You guys destroyed them. I know Milan got the first goal, but both your defenders, Konate and Van Dijk, scoring. And then it finished 3-1 to Liverpool. So good game for you guys. Christian Pulisic, former Chelsea player, scoring for AC Milan. What's the news on Odegaard injury? We are going to get into that shortly into this video. I just thought I'd go live quickly to talk about the injury news updates. Those of you who have some Arsenal assets in your fantasy team that were flagged, Bukayo Saka was returned back to training today. He just had a slight knock against Tottenham, and we saw Ethan Nwaneri get some minutes against Tottenham. Very few minutes, but it gave Bukayo Saka some time to rest. He had a slight knock. He is fine, and he did return back to regular training today. So there is no longer a caution flag with star boy Bukayo Saka. And the same goes with our boy Calafiori. Before I get into the big news on Martin Odegaard, I am going to go ahead and run back that intro. And we'll do a mini preview for the Atlanta game. Unfortunately, I don't have an Atlanta fan on my show today. I didn't plan to go live. I just thought I'd do something quickly to talk about the injury updates. That was my main concern of this stream. I know this morning Twitter went into meltdown, afternoon UK time. People were upset that Odegaard's going to be out for long term due to ligament damage, but we will go through that later in this video. Big up to everyone who's joined. Let me go ahead and run back that intro real quick. Big up, everyone. Thanks for joining and thanks for tuning in. Arteta did his pre-press conference today, and when he was asked about the Odegaard injury, he did laugh it off, and he said he hopes that it won't be for months. As we know today, it was reported that Odegaard did suffer ligament damage, and Arsenal admitted that it was significant injury. The club used a strategy for the Tottenham game to say it was a matter of days, but now decided they can't keep going along with that, according to Team News and Ticks, who's quite reliable, in my opinion, for Arsenal news. And according to Team News and Ticks, it looks like Odegaard, our club captain, will not be returning with Arsenal until the November, which is probably after the second international break. We did have an international break just not long ago this month. I think Odegaard will return after the next international break. So hopefully he has a safe recovery. And it's a huge loss. In my opinion, he is the best player in our team, arguably. And he's the glue to this team without a doubt. So it is a huge loss for us. For this Atlanta game and for the Man City game, we have Declan Rice available for selection. Partey, Jorginho are also available. I know some people for the Tottenham game were making all kinds of weird lineups, having Timber in midfield, Zinchenko in midfield, chopping and changing way too much. Big up, Steve. Thanks so much. Big up, Lee. Hope you're well. Lee and Bertie, a Gooner Gathering channel. Please check out their channel. They do Arsenal women's content. Very upsetting defeat to the Arsenal ladies today in the Champions League. They lost 1-0. Thanks, Steve, for joining. Nice meeting you earlier today. Big up OSG. Hope you had a good trip to New York City. Rosie, thank you for joining. Thanks for the compliment. And she said, just dropping by to smash the like button. I didn't plan to go live, but I wanted to talk about the injury crisis. Now that we have some further news that Odegaard did do further scans last week, and the results of that would be most likely that he won't be available until November. With that being said, Arsenal have a Champions League game away from home to Atlanta tomorrow, and it's time for us to do a rotation squad. For the Atlanta game, I hope the likes of Sterling will start, Leandro Trossard, and I would play Jesus. So my lineup would be Raya in goal, Timber, Gabriel, Calafiori, Ben White, Declan Rice, Havertz, and Ethan Nwaneri. Then Sterling, Jesus, and Saka. As we know, Saka is now fit. He was in full training today, according to Simon Collins, and he no longer has an issue. I don't know if this is confirmed by the club yet, but if you guys saw the David Raya birthday celebrations, Mikel Merino was at Raya's birthday celebrations, and Mikel Merino was actually moving his arm. He's no longer having his arm in a sling. So that's good news. It looks like he's progressing there with his recovery, but there's no indication on how long he's going to be out for. Arteta also did not touch upon it on his pre-presser for the Atlanta preview. I think this would be my rotated lineup. I know it's not the strongest team. As you guys know, the Champions League format is different this season. So we can take a draw to Atlanta and play our strongest 11 with Tottenham, with City, the strongest 11 we have. And I know people can say you can't afford to rest players away from home in the Champions League. Even if we do have Man City, you always have to play your strongest team. You have to put your best efforts forward. But right now, due to the injuries that we have, I don't think this is a possibility in both competitions at the moment. I know people will disagree with me, but I would even go as far as to say Havertz needs a rest. But we can't afford to rest him because of how integral he is into the squad and how good he's been for us so far. Against Tottenham, I found he was one of our best players. And to get that victory over Tottenham at the 3-point lane was quite impressive for us. It was literally a smash and grab win for us, and also monumental for us to take that confidence forward to Atlanta away in Italy, and also on the road when we travel again to Manchester for to beat these Chiefs. Playing Man City away is never an easy game. Last season, you saw we played not to lose. This season, I hope our mentality is stronger and we take, the positives with us. The strong, solid defense we have in Gabriel Magalhaes, in William Saliba. We take these players with us, and hopefully we can stop Man City. You guys know me. I like to be optimistic, but also balanced in my analysis. And I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for us. You guys saw Kevin De Bruyne had a slight knock today against Inter, but he seemed fine to walk off fine. And even the subs they brought on, I believe, was Gundogan and Foden. So their backup team or their bench players are just as good, if not equally as good, as the starting players. And that's the huge losses. Our actual backup to Odegaard is Ethan Nwaneri, who's not ready for these big games, I'll say. And BX, I would definitely take a draw on Sunday, but I really want to win and want to beat the Cheats. It would be so good to beat the Cheats. I don't want any more injuries, says Olad Hapo. Yeah, I hear you. And it's quite upsetting that we lost Odegaard to injury because of international duty when these players just played a month of Euros. I know Odegaard's team was not there, but most of these players played 1 month of Euros or Copa America, those players that went respective to their teams. Also, you guys saw yesterday our Hale End boys. I know one of them is no longer with us. Eddie Nketiah scored for Crystal Palace. And also Reece Nelson, who is on loan to Fulham, scored for Fulham, but Fulham got eliminated in a long penalty shootout to Preston North End. Big up, Mark. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Jack. Assalamu alaikum, Yusuf. Rodolfo, big up to you. Chilean national holidays here. Hope you have a great holidays. And Zain Hanif, Liverpool fan, big up to you. Liverpool got defeated to Nottingham Forest on the weekend to former Chelsea player Callum Hudson-Odoi and Anthony Elanga coming off the bench. And Liverpool lost 1-0 at Anfield. This week, I think Liverpool have Bournemouth. Hopefully you guys can win, but it was shocking to see Nottingham Forest take points off of you guys. With this new format, it is important you get as many points as possible. Probably 12 to 15 should be okay to qualify. Yeah, the first top 8 teams of who qualify go automatically, and the rest have to do a playoffs with the new Champions League format. C. Walder says, a real shame. Odegaard arguably has a more intense job than anyone else in the league in his position. Probably need to change our system rather than try and squeeze someone into Odegaard's role. I agree with you. Somebody earlier said 4-4-2 for the lineup for Atlanta or City. They didn't specify. So whoever made that comment here, Mafio, Arsenal can play 4-2-4. Tell Odegaard, Trossard, and Jesus need to step up for the next month and a half. Unfortunately, Mafio, I don't know these players personally to tell them to step up. Well, I think Trossard has definitely stepped up, and you saw in the North London derby, Martinelli's starting to get some form of confidence. I know people said he should have passed to Saka, but even just him taking the shot in the right position and getting in the right areas, it was a big chance for us to get a second against the Spuds. And if we had got it, it would have been great. Even Sterling coming on, having a chance. It was good to see. And for us to get 1-0 win, get the 3 points, no more injuries away from home to the Tottenham. It's always a good win to beat them. And in recent years, we've always beat them. The last 3 years, we beat them home and away. So I'm glad we keep it that way and we keep it going that way. Alex says, Man City on Sunday. Oh, no, not good having go all the way to Italy before that. Yeah, with the draw that happened for the Champions League, unfortunately, as soon as that happened, we saw that we have Atlanta away in Italy, and then we have to come back and play in Manchester away from home, whereas Manchester City played today at the San Siro, but they'll be already back for their game at home. Big up, Charlie. I know you were live. That's why I didn't want to tell anyone I'm live. I just decided to click go live, and whoever joins, joins. I'm not really fussed about views or stuff like that. I hardly self-promote my channel, unlike Luca. Big up to Arun. He says, we will play 4-3-3 that changes into a 4-4-2 against City and Atlanta. Sorry. Yeah, it's the traveling that's concerning, whether we can handle the traveling, but this is the test for us, is the Champions League. City played home versus Inter. Yeah, sorry, City were at home to Inter, so I think they still have to go to the San Siro. And Inter Milan look really good today. I think that's going to be a tough game for us, Inter Milan, and I would love to go watch Arsenal at the San Siro. That's an incredible stadium. One of the stadiums on my bucket list. I would love to go to the San Siro, but I know Italy is very hard to get tickets. I thought City were at the San Siro today, but I was wrong. They were at home. So, yeah, I understand. I watched the game, and I did see the chances that happened in both games. So I saw KDB go off, Foden and Gundogan come on. And I saw Lautaro come off the bench, who I'm very impressed by. One of my favorite players, Lautaro Martinez. I think he's incredible talent. I know he doesn't play for Arsenal, but just as a general football fan. So if Martin Odegaard returns in mid-November, he can possibly miss Atlanta, City, Bolton in the Cup, Leicester in the league, PSG at home, Southampton, Bournemouth, Shakhtar Donetsk in Champions League, Liverpool at home, Newcastle at home, Inter in the Champions League San Siro, and Chelsea in the league. That's quite a lot of games, and as you know, it's a huge loss. But it's not over for us. Hopefully, he's back in 6 to 8 weeks. People, as I said earlier in the stream, if you guys were here already, I said Team News and Tick said he would be most likely out until November. This is a big point here. Play for the captain. Yeah, so hopefully they give their best efforts to Martin Odegaard, and I'm also, just like I said on my previous stream, I wish him a safe recovery. Jesus, big up to you. Martinez would be great at Arsenal, top player. He was incredible, one of the top goal scorers in their league last season. Thoughts on Bologna tonight? Drawn. Oh, it was like watching paint dry. I thought that was a boring game. I was happy when Coventry scored on Spurs, but then Brendan Johnson wins it for Spuds. Calafiori on Sunday. I would like to see Calafiori play on Sunday. That's my hope. I hope he plays on Sunday. He was back in training today, but I'm happy with either Timber or Calafiori. That's on Arteta to pick his best 11. Josh, respectfully, I don't want any drama in my chat. I just keep a football channel, not a drama channel. This is not one of those channels, so please, can you guys handle this privately and not on my YouTube channel, please? Big up, Chris. Flix, thanks for joining. Jordan did a stream earlier. I know he's somewhere in my chat. He was doing the City Inter Milan game. Big Cala is back. Yeah, he was back in training earlier today. Also, Saka was fine. It was just a knock. Declan Rice must be tired after the Euros. You know, in a way, that Declan Rice red card against Brighton, it's kind of a good thing if you're looking at it, because now he's fresh legs for Atlanta, and also fresh legs for Man City. But I know it's the traveling for Atlanta that's quite upsetting. Get Blind Gooner on for a chat. I don't really do a lot of guest streams. A lot of people do think YouTube differently and to their own preference, so this is just my preference. I still speak to Daniel whenever I can, and I know he does YouTube on his own channel. I still talk to him and see him at games whenever I go. I've met up with him last season. And shout out to Daniel. Hope he's well. And Suzanne. Harleen, big up to you. Raptors new kit's out in basketball. I saw the new Raptors City kit, but I like the classic purple one. Hopefully to get Scotty Barnes on the back, and hope Raptors sort out this contract situation with Masai Ujiri. It would be good for me to do a Raptors stream. It's been a long time since I talked about Raptors. I think the last stream I did was about Scotty Barnes over Jalen Suggs in the draft. Niall says we are all a big, brilliant community. Yeah, it's good. I started YouTube during COVID, and I made a lot of good friends on here and on Twitter. So I consider a lot of you good friends. What's his channel called? Blind Gooner can't find it. It's called Daniel Bailey TV, his channel. Alex, what do you think of Rice, Jorginho, and Ethan Nwaneri midfield tomorrow? In my predicted lineup, I put Rice and Nwaneri. I didn't put Jorginho. I think Jorginho can come off the bench. He's very good at passing accuracy. The player I'm worried about for Atlanta is no other than Ademola Lookman, who is a Ballon d'Or nominee for this past season. He's so good for Atlanta, and he's starting to get more and more noticed. Ademola Lookman, I think we have to look out for him. He's definitely a threat for Atlanta. And I believe Skamaka is injured. From what people were telling me, Skamaka is still injured. So I don't think he's gonna play for Atlanta. So that's good. We don't have to worry about him. But it's definitely Lookman to worry about. Looking forward to see Ethan Nwaneri tomorrow, which we will. Yes, I think we will see Ethan tomorrow. Either on starting 11 or on the bench. Um, I do think he will get some game time tomorrow. Same thing with Calafiori. Guys, if you haven't already in the comments, let me know your predicted 11 that you want to see versus Atlanta tomorrow as we travel all the way to Italy. Some people even put a midfield of Jorginho, Leandro Trossard, and Declan Rice with a backline of Calafiori, Gabriel, William Saliba, Ben White, and Raya in goal. Then Sterling, Kai Havertz, and Saka on the right wing. Sterling on the left and Havertz in the middle. But the midfield of Jorginho, Trossard, and Rice was quite interesting to see in some people's mock or draft 11s. So let me know your predicted lineups. Guys, if you want to make one for Atlanta game, I went through mine already. Arun says Kamaka and Scalvini are out. Yeah, it's good they're not available for us. Retugi, Lookman, De Caltare will be tough to handle. Yeah, these are the players that are a threat for them. They have another striker called Retugi who already has 4 goals this season. Yeah, and the season just started. Skamaka tore his ACL. Yeah, I saw because he didn't even go to Italy for the Nations League. He wasn't called up for them. I know they beat France in the Nations League and Israel. Big up to Rosie, big up Garvin, big up Jordan. I did mention your stream earlier. Big up Jack. Harleen, what team you support, Mel? I support Arsenal, as you know, Harleen. And of course, Raptors, Toronto Raptors. Big up to our local team in the basketball. I really hope October comes soon. I want to go to more Raptors games. Maybe I go watch Precious Achua in Raptors Knicks game at Scotiabank Arena. Would be good. Mark, big up to you. He says Raya, Ben White, Saliba, Kivior, Calafiori, Jorginho, Rice, Havertz, Trossard, Jesus, and Martinelli. So you want Martinelli to start? That's a good pick. I didn't know Kivior was available. I thought he was injured. I'm not sure if Kivior is available. I haven't seen him. I'm not aware if he's back from injury or not. But that's a good that's a good team. Sorry. Mafio says his predicted lineup is Raya, Ben White, Saliba, Kivior again. Okay, that's 2 people now for Kivior. Big Calafiori, Jorginho, Rice, Ethan, Martinelli, Jesus, and Sterling. A lot of people say Martinelli to start. I say Jesus, Sterling, Saka. Some people say give Saka a rest so he's fresh legs for Man City, which I completely understand. Let me know when you're going to the Raptors game. I'm going as well. Yeah, it'll be good to meet up. I want to go to the Raptors Knicks game. I think that's the best one to pick. I know a guy who has Raptors season ticket in a 300 level, and it wasn't expensive, so I asked him for the Knicks ticket. Hopefully it's a good game and we win, but Raptors have a lot of work to do. Kivior is all good. Yeah, I haven't seen him play in some time, so I know the cup games against Bolton. We'll see the kids play. The likes of Miles Lewis Kelly, Ethan Waneri, Salah Ad-Din. Yesterday we saw that Porter, Miles Lewis Kelly, Ethan Waneri, Butler, Oyeji, Salah Ad-Din, and Gower are all with the first team. Even one of the academy goalkeepers will be on the team sheet on the bench tomorrow because Tommy Stepford, I believe, is injured. That's why one of the academy keepers are on the bench tomorrow. But of course, it's going to be Raya starting. Just the bench is a backup keeper. That's all it is. Nothing, not a big deal. No meltdowns, please, over a backup goalie that's on the bench who's probably not even going to see the light or see game time. With that being said, my score prediction for the Atlanta game, I think this is not a team to underestimate, definitely. As Arun mentioned in the chat, there are some players to look out for Atlanta. And the fact of the matter is we are playing on the road away from home. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but I do think I'm going for a 2-1 Arsenal win. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game, but I'll even be happy with a draw to leave there with a draw and with no casualties to come back to Manchester, where we have to face the Cheats away from home on the road. This weekend, I will be live with my Sports World. I'll be doing a watch along for the Cheats game. Arsenal versus the Cheats away from home. It's very unfortunate that they're still in the league with their pending court case. Hopefully, they get dealt with accordingly based on the evidence and based on the judgment provided. I know it's going to take a long time, but I just hope that they'll do something and do the right thing. A lot of people doubt anything's going to happen to them that's serious, probably a fine or a slap on the wrist. Big up to my co-host Moss. I was just talking about your channel. I'll be live on Moss Sports World and my channel for the watch along against the Cheats on the weekend. C. Walder says no casualties is arguably more important than the result. I'm going to start this comment right here. It's really important that we no longer get any more injuries. You guys saw the way we shithoused the midfield against Tottenham with two grandpas in midfield. I know Jorginho's passing ability is very good, but our midfield didn't have much pace to it. And for us to still get 3 points with 7 players injured, 7 main players injured, is incredible. I agree with Moss. Atlanta, a draw is fine, but a win would be incredible. My score prediction is a 2-1 Arsenal. I saw Mark say classic 1-0 to the Arsenal, and Arun also said 1-0 to the Arsenal. And Mafia going 2-0 clean sheet. If we keep a clean sheet away from home to Atlanta, I'm going to have to eat my words because that would be impressive, and a win would definitely be incredible in the Champions League opener. Safe travels. I know a lot of my friends went to Atlanta in Italy, traveled from London to Italy, much closer for them. But I hope I can go to the PSG game at home. I really want to go to more Champions League games this season. Last season, I went to all of the group stages and the Porto game, Bayern Munich home and away. As you guys know, I really like to travel following the Arsenal, and I hope to be able to go this season to more Champions League games. Raul says his lineup is Raya, Ben White, Gabriel Saliba, Julian Timber, Declan Rice, Partey, Ethan, Martinelli, Havertz, Saka. If we get our goal, then sub off Saka. I agree with some of the people like Mark and Mafos, and Mark and Mafio, who said rest Bukayo Saka because he's integral for the Man City game to keep him fit. I did mention earlier on in this video that he returned back to full training, and it was just a slight knock. Nothing to worry about for Bukayo Saka. Big up to Ryan LFC. Big up Ryan. Hope you're well. Hope your reggae boys are doing better this time. And sorting out the situation with Leon Bailey contract issue. Whether he's going to continue to play for Jamaica or not. Check out Elite Sports TV. Ryan covers all content for reggae boys and track and field Jamaica. He also does Liverpool content still, so big up to Ryan. Kingsley's going with a 1-0 Arsenal win. A lot of people going for a 1-0 win away from home. And as Bargav says, no casualties, clean sheet without a draw would be great. I agree with that point that I started earlier. No casualties is a big must for us. We talked about that earlier on in the stream about the injury updates, and all I can say is I wish Odegaard the best recovery and hope this team performs at the highest level for him. Thinking of him, I know he's the glue to this team, so him being out for a few months when he's the glue to this team, it is a huge loss. And as Team News and Tick said, he will be back around November, particularly after the international break, is what was informed. So hopefully we see him back sooner than later and healthier, and back stronger than ever before, I could say. Guys, we have some tough fixtures this month. I think September, it's really hitting us home. And even in City, if we don't beat City, it would be incredible to beat City. But if we don't beat City, it is earlier on in the league where we can definitely pick up the points elsewhere. City didn't beat Arsenal and still won the league. But I know it's a different season, and to win the league, you have to really try to win all these games. With Brighton, we saw what happened in the inconsistency of officiating. I don't know if you guys heard the audio clip that was released this morning or yesterday morning. of the officiating for that Declan Rice incident in the Brighton game. But if you guys do want to give that a listen, it is somewhere on Twitter. So if you want to check that out. Raul says, my scoreline is also 1-0. Atlanta is a tough place. I understand that 100%. I also said Atlanta is not going to be a walk in the park. They do have some good players, and this is the Champions League. We shouldn't go in there underestimating any team. Thanks to Rosie for moderating the chat today. Really appreciate you sharing everybody's stream links. Much appreciated. And thanks for no spamming in the chat. Some people, they like to spam their channel links in my chat, which is very rude and disrespectful to the panelists. Salah Adin and Jack Porter traveled with Arsenal first team. Those are two of our academy boys from the under-21s. As I mentioned earlier today, Arsenal ladies unfortunately lost in the Champions League in a 1-0 defeat. In Manchester, Michael Oliver's the referee. Yes, on City's payroll, Michael Oliver straight in Manchester. He will be the official for this game. But regardless of who the official is, I hope we give it our best and put this officiating and from the inconsistencies of officiating to bed. Hopefully we get 3 points. To beat City would be the icing on the cake, the cherry on top of the cake, and I'd be knee sliding my way to celebrations. I know City fans act like they're untouchable and gonna win a 5-peat, but I hope that doesn't happen, and hopefully we will be the ones to stop them. It looks like tomorrow Jorginho will be the captain, is my understanding. Jorginho was the captain for the Tottenham North London derby. As you know, Odegaard is injured. I predicted before that it would be Saka, but I'm not surprised with Jorginho being captain. Hi, Graham. Thanks a lot for joining. I did see your analysis for the North London derby, and thank you very much for wishing me on my birthday. Atlanta knocked Liverpool out of Europa last season. We were linked with Ademola Lookman, one of their players. Do you see a role for Sterling tomorrow night? Hope you are well, Graham. Thanks a lot, Graham, for joining my chat stream today. I hope you're well. It would be lovely to have a show with you one of these days. And I have to catch up with you. It's been such a long time. Do you see a role for Sterling tomorrow night? I said yes. I do think Sterling is one to start, and I do want to see him start tomorrow. I think he's definitely hungry and has a point to prove, like he said himself. He's looked really sharp in the training videos that they've showed us. So I do want to see Sterling, Saka, and Havertz. Those of you that said Saka should rest, I understand. Then Martinelli, you want to see Martinelli or Sterling instead. So I understand all of you who said Saka needs a rest. I don't blame you, because you don't want to run the kid to the ground, just like we have in previous seasons. But now that we have Sterling on loan for a year, I think we're going to make good use of him. And I do think Sterling is going to have something to prove, and he'll be a lot better because now he's free from the shackles of Chelsea Football Club. Sterling must shine. I agree with you. Champions League nights are back. Yeah, the games today, I don't know. It sounded a lot better than it looked. I mean, City Inter, yes, Inter Barella had some chances, and Gundogan had a chance. It was like almost equal game, but Inter was really, really good. They looked sharp. I don't think that's going to be a tough walk in the park for us. So San Siro, definitely not an easy game, and their fans really like to rile us up. I love Arteta, but he'll start Bukayo Saka. Yeah, see, I can see that happening. Bukayo to start because he doesn't want to lose or play a weaker lineup in these games. Thanks, Mark, for the super chat. Mark is from Scotland, and I think Mark likes Hibs or Celtic. I'm guessing he likes Celtic. Celtic played today, and Rosie, Rangers FC are SHIT. Keep up the good work, Mel. Mark, just like you, I don't like Rangers, and Rosie tried to recruit me to support Rangers women. She wanted me to be in misery and upset about Rangers women. Rangers men won on the weekend. I know, Mark, maybe you like Hibs or Celtic. I'm guessing you like Celtic, and Moss likes Hibernian. Hibs. Celtic won today. Whoa, you don't like both of them. Moss don't like Mark don't like Scottish football. Okay, it's fair enough. It's your preference. Um, Rosie tried to do the devil's work and recruiting me to support Rangers ladies. Guys, I watched women's football and Rangers ladies is not good. They lost 6-0 to Arsenal. Yes, they beat Dundee 10-0, but it was Dundee United. Come on, give me a break. And you have Hearts this weekend. Hopefully, you can get a win, Rosie, and not against some easy team that you can batter. No, come back here when you beat a Premier League team, Rosie. But that was a good game. I really enjoyed it. And it all went quiet on your side after the 6-0 win, Rosie, of Arsenal ladies and Caitlin Ford. Um, guys, I've been waffling for some time. So if you have any questions about Arsenal, I don't have any transfer news at the moment. I am going to do a stream later this week about Gabriel's new contract being talked about. As you guys know, Gabriel Magalhaes is pending a new contract extension, and in my opinion, he's a very underrated player with Arsenal. Oftentimes, we always big up Saliba and Ben White, but Gabriel Magalhaes never really gets his flowers. He's always been one to be underrated and unsung hero, in my opinion. So I hope Arsenal do give him a new contract. It is being discussed about, and I hope he continues to shine with this club. People always called him the bozo defender in the past. Well, some people did, and he's one of the best defenders we can have. The partnership of Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba. He's a very athletic center back, not just from his physicality wise, but he's very explosive. He gives fast attackers in the Premier League a good race for their money. He's super fast for a center back, but he's also very strong physicality wise, and he uses his body to block players off the ball effortlessly. He makes it look so easy when in reality that's not the case. You have to be very talented to be one of the like that. I'm going deaf, Melina, about 5 minutes ago. I didn't hear anything. Mark is a lovely guy. Yeah, Mark doesn't like Scottish football, but we always talk about the Scottish League, Mark, because Rosie and Moss like Scottish football. And I like watching the Women's League Academy and men's Arsenal teams. People that don't watch Arsenal call him bozo. Yeah, it's sad when our own fans, or I should say fans like this, because some of our own fans make names for players and abuse our own players. It's quite upsetting to see when they're just trying their best efforts. I know when Eddie wasn't necessarily his best or not good enough for Arsenal, some people always abused him and verbally abused him on in whether it was at the stadium or online. And I don't think that would account for any better of their performances. I don't think it would help anyone. It would rather do the opposite, hurt and cause more frustration for the player. Big Gaps is one of my favorite defenders ever. They made a chat for Jurian Timber. I don't know if you guys heard it. I did post a video on YouTube Shorts about Jurian Timber chat they made on the weekend in the North London Derby game against Tottenham. So that was interesting to see. This weekend we have a big game against the Cheats. Me and Moss Sports World, we will be live. I believe it's Eastern Standard Time around I think around 11:30 my time and 4:30. Yeah, 4:30 UK time kickoff. So I'll be doing watch along for that. Mark, I don't know if you're doing a space right now, but I will join later. I did see you live on YouTube. I think it was earlier today. I joined briefly. I saw you live. So big up to you. Continue your hard efforts and good work on YouTube. YouTube is not easy. It's just something I love to do for fun. I love talking about football, basketball, tennis. I like watching, but it's basketball and football that are two of my favorite sports. And I should be doing more Raptors content and Toronto FC content, but it's kind of hard to stream a lot when I'm working full time and taking care of my family. Sometimes I try to go live more, and I think last week I was live for my birthday stream on last week. Thanks to everyone who wished me for my birthday. who joined my birthday stream, who called me, who texted me, took time out of your day. I really appreciate it. Mark doesn't have his own channel yet, but he does go on a lot of other people's channels. He does. He goes on as a guest regularly on other people's channels, and he's very balanced in his approach as well of the Arsenal in his analysis, whether it's on Twitter or on YouTube. So big up to you, and hope you continue to excel. Thanks to everyone who's watching live on YouTube, and whether you're watching on Twitter, please hop on over to my YouTube channel. It is called Miss Melina. The link is in my Twitter bio. You can check out my previous videos, my previous live streams, and if you're interested, click on that red subscribe button, as I am currently on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Guys, I think I mentioned this before, that a few home games. So whether one of these home games, 4 or 5 home games coming, I will be featured in the match day program on my favorite Arsenal shirt to talk about the 2007-2008 third kit, the year we signed Bakary Sagna and Eduardo. That's one of my favorite Arsenal shirts. I know we didn't wear it for a long time, but it is in my collection, and I'll be featured in the match program to talk all about it. So that's something interesting that's happening, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. I think it's not something that happens often and something special, so I thought I'd share it with you guys, and I appreciate the opportunity when I was invited to be a part of that for my favorite Arsenal shirt. Um, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the day. Kingsley, big up to you. Arsenal got you win, 3 points win as a birthday present. Yeah, it was incredible. I really loved the North London Derby win. It was a great watch along. It was a great game, and it felt darn good to beat Tottenham again at 3 Point Lane. Guys, James Madison, stinker and hooked. Absolutely hooked. Terrible performance from him, and he was a ghost in that game. I think Solanke put in more effort than Madison and Son combined, you would say. Mark, thank you very much for the super chat. Please, guys, keep your money in your wallets. I just do this for fun, and I love talking about sports, giving you guys an opportunity to voice your say, but more importantly, from a neutral fan who is abroad but travels. I travel to a lot of games, and I quite enjoy the whole experience, not just being at the game, but meeting fans from different countries, talking to fans from different countries. And a lot of people ask me, oh, how do you get tickets? How do you get tickets? Tickets are friggin' gold dust to get. And Mark, just as we discussed, when you get the opportunity to go to Arsenal, you should be very grateful for it. Not There's some people who are on their phones for 90 minutes of the game. They care more about recording it for their YouTube or social media than actually living in that moment. And sometimes we're so hooked on social media, on our platforms respectively, that we don't enjoy the moment. So when I'm at a game, especially Champions League games or Premier League game, I record the first few minutes when it's opening North London Derby, and then I put the phone away and I sit in that moment for 90 minutes. It is absolutely incredible. I've seen some defeats last season. I didn't go unbeaten record. I went to the Villa game. I went to the West Ham game. Sometimes in the rain, I went to these games, and it was still good. I met a lot of friends that I know online, and it was nice to voice my opinion on other people's channels, talk about the performance, and also see the performance live. It's very different than what we see on YouTube. Fans are more supportive of the players. Fans are more supportive of the manager. And Mark says, you are too nice, Mel. Get over to YouTube and show support. You won't get a more dedicated fan talking about her club. Thanks a lot, Mark. I really appreciate that. I love talking about Arsenal because I'm able to voice my views as someone who doesn't live in London but travels to London often, and voices my opinion on what I feel about the club, how I think about the game, what I think about our performances, what I think has improved, what I think needs to improve. And that's how you critically analyze a game or a performance or your season overall. I'm not sure what Jordan is on about. Jordan, I'm just doing a stream by myself. So I'm not sure I'm not sure what you want to talk about, but this is just a stream I thought to do to talk about Arsenal, more like a news update or a mini preview to the Atlanta game tomorrow. Hopefully, guys, I can cover the Atlanta game tomorrow. I'm gonna ask to make it back from work early so I can cover the game tomorrow. I'll probably be doing a match reaction, not a watch along. I'm excited for the game. Of course, nothing beats Champions League under the lights, and after so long, it's good to be back where we belong in the Champions League. Guys, thanks to everyone who's tuned in on Twitter. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in on YouTube, whether you're watching this live or on the replay. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in. Thank you, Mark, for the super chat donations. I hope to catch your space sometime soon. I was saying Moss FC watch along from office if you are off work. I'm not sure what time I'm gonna finish work. I'm gonna email my boss now to ask if I can leave earlier to make it home in time for the game. But downtown Toronto traffic is an absolute nightmare and unpredictable. But I'll try to sort that out. I really want to be home in time to watch the game. Nothing beats watching the game at home in the comfort of your home, or being at the stadium is probably the best feeling. But I couldn't make it to this Atlanta game. Fingers crossed we make it to the PSG game. Those of you that won tickets to the Bolton game in the Cup, I think almost every Red member that entered for Bolton Wanderers tickets, they won a ticket to the game. I hope you guys enjoy the game. I know, Mark, you won tickets to the game. Enjoy the game. You get to see some academy kids perform, and Miles Lewis Kelly, Ethan Waneri. These are bright prospects, and we hope they have a future here. We can only hope they have a future here, but we get to see them perform in the Cup games. We get to see rotation in the squad and some players that you don't normally see. Those of you who are struggling to get tickets for Premier League or Champions League games, this is probably a game you might want to consider. The Cup games are easier to get tickets to because a lot of season ticket holders opt out of it and don't necessarily go to these games. It is midweek games, however, just like the Champions League is midweek late night games. With that being said, guys, I am going to wrap up this stream. I'm not understanding why the drama is continuing in my chat room. Please, I mentioned it earlier as a warning. Please, guys, just take it to your own conversations privately. I'd really appreciate that. This is just a football stream. We kick back, we talk football, and we talk about Arsenal. We talk about the teams we love. I know some of you guys aren't Arsenal fans, but we all share a common interest for the lovely sport. Mark says, I didn't win in the ballot, however, won 2 hospitality tickets, jackpot, meeting my favorite podcasters. Yeah, I hope you have a really good time. You're going to see Tom Canton's podcast live. Safe travels over there. And I know you're moving soon, so that's quite hectic. I hope everything goes well. Guys, I am going to wrap up the stream. Fingers crossed tomorrow I can do a watch along / match reaction for the Atlanta game away from home in Italy. And I think that's it from me. I am going to wrap up the stream now. Thanks to everyone who's joined. Shout out to Moss. Shout out to Jordan, Jack, Fahim. Wow. Fahim, what the hell? Where have you been? Chelsea have been so bad and you disappeared. No more shorts, no more YouTube. Where have you been, man? It's been a long time. Good to see you. It's been a really long time, Fahim. I can't believe you still remember me. Nice to see you. Hope your university, everything going well. You must have graduated by now. I know you were doing shorts before because you were so busy with YouTube. Chelsea are in the mud. I know you guys won today, but good to see you, Fahim. Who's live next? BX, I'm not sure. I don't know who's going live later today. Charlie was already live for FIFA. I think he's still playing it. FIFA 25 is out this Friday. Take care, everyone. Thank you, C. Walder, for tuning in. I think I follow you on Twitter because I recognize the profile picture, but I'm pretty sure your name is different on Twitter. Take care, Moss. Thanks, everyone, for joining. And I'm going to close out the stream now. Fahim, good to see you. It's been a long time, bro. Nice to see you around. Some good Chelsea fan friends. Good to see everyone. And LIB231 says, let's go Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners. Love the new whole home kit you're repping. And take care, everyone. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow with a match reaction. If not, if you don't see me tomorrow live, I'll be live on the weekend for the Cheats watch along. And yeah, we're out. Adios, everyone. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good rest of your night, rest of your evening. I know it's late in the UK right now, so thanks everybody for tuning in. North American peeps, big up to you, big up to everyone, and have a good evening. Bye everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Go Arsenal, go. Champions League is back.